Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Tonight, on Open Mic Night of the Living Dead, we're going to discuss our favorite Christmas horror movies.
The creature's creeping right behind you. I hope you finally find a little slice of peace and light. 'Cause it comes crashing down tonight. Welcome to the open mic. When we call your name, you'll die. But there's no need to dread. This is the open mic night of the living dead.
All right. 'Tis the season. It is the seasonest of the season.
It so is. You were so eloquent by saying it that way.
It's my trademark.
We're good at this. Feeling a little crazy with the season, though. I gotta say, every year I'm always surprised by how crazy it is. And I am grateful for the addition of Christmas horror to our viewing lineup these last few years.
I was thinking about it. You could, if you wanted to, you could do a pretty extensive podcast, like a series just on Christmas horror movies, if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Like a whole season of podcast.
Like a year.
100%. Just from the movies that I've put on this list that we've watched over the last 4 years. It's been 3 years, but 4 holiday seasons. So.
And what we've seen is like a drop in the bucket of what's been made.
Exactly.
But I feel like we've seen a lot of the upper half of them. I feel like a lot of Christmas horror movies tend to be lower budget, and some of them are great for that, and others miss the mark.
Yes, I do. I think you're right. And I think that when we started a few years ago, I think we've seen like the big ones, and we'll talk about those. Obviously, we decided to cover Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night this year. I'm sure next year, this time of year, we'll pick some other ones to cover. I have some ideas already, but there's definitely no lack of material for someone interested in holiday horror.
Absolutely.
Oh, hey, I'm Rachel.
Oh, I'm John.
Right.
We got married after Rachel discovered me at an open mic night. She was like the Berry Gordy to my Diana Ross.
I don't understand that reference.
I'm not sure it's accurate, but I think it is. We're just going to go with it.
I did discover you at a rival open mic.
And then we soon discovered we also loved horror, so we've combined those into this podcast. At the end of this episode, we're going to give you our demo for the soon-to-be long-time Christmas hit, Naughty Christmas.
Yes, we enjoy writing music inspired by our favorite genre of films.
But until then, let's kick around a few of these. I think the list of movies that we've even watched is probably more extensive than we plan to allot time to this afternoon.
Right. We can't go deep on all of these or really any of them, but I put together this list of Christmas movies we've watched together. So both of us have seen all of these movies.
And if you're listening to this when it comes out, this is airing. Well, it doesn't air, but it hits the podcast platforms on Christmas Eve.
Yay.
And so if you're looking for that one last movie to watch while your parents frantically wrap your presents in the basement, maybe we can give you some inspiration here.
Yeah, maybe something in here will call your name. So I don't know what order you want to go through these in, or if we can just go back and forth, or...
Yeah, I think we just pick some.
Okay, cool.
Or also, I sometimes watch Christmas horror movies when I'm wrapping presents as well.
That's kind of a fun thing to do.
Absolutely.
Yay.
What do you want to talk about first?
Oh, goodness. Should we talk about the bad ones first or the good ones first?
Let's talk a few good ones.
A few good ones. Well, okay, not including Black Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night, right? Because I think those are probably my favorites.
Right.
I want to talk about I have my scores on here too, so I can see how I felt about these movies over the years. Because you and I are going to have slightly different rankings on these bad boys. I want to talk about Christmas, Bloody Christmas. That came out in 2022. We watched this maybe last year, maybe year before. A robot Santa
Oh, yeah.
goes haywire, and our final girl has to fight for survival. It seems weird to say it like that. This was directed by Joe Begos. I don't have anything else. And starring two people I've never heard of before, Riley Dandy and Sam Delish. I remember when we watched this movie really enjoying the vibe. It's got, Christmas, Bloody Christmas. There's an 80s vibe to it. There's just some real, doesn't she work at like a record store?
Yeah.
Yeah, she works at a record store. It was way more fun than I thought it was going to be, given that I didn't recognize anybody involved on the cast or crew. And I thought the vibes were really cool. Production design was really, really neat. It was just an awesome one. Actually, I might rewatch that one myself before the season's over.
Yeah. That one was definitely, I was interested in seeing it when it came out, but I've watched enough of these along the way to not have very high expectations, and it certainly met my low expectations and exceeded them. It was definitely a fun time.
Yeah, that's a fun one. If you haven't seen it, a little bit off the beaten track, but Christmas, Bloody Christmas, 2022, worth a look. What's another one you might recommend?
Well, I'm going to go with one of my favorites before you can step on it, which is Better Watch Out.
Yeah, you're right. I would have.
From 2016, directed by Chris Peckover, who also directed Undocumented in 2010.
That was one I haven't seen Undocumented, but it looks really interesting.
But this movie stars Olivia DeLong, who ended up being Priscilla in Elvis in 2022, and also Levi Miller. And it also stars the other guy, actually, Olivia DeLong. Is it DeLong or DeJong?
I have DeJong written, but...
Oh, yes. I see that now. I was having an
adult moment?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Not quite senior when you're in your 40s, but getting close.
Who knows? This could be senior for me. But Olivia DeJong and the third guy in this, give me 1 second, because it's not Levi Miller. Levi Miller is the lead character.
Yes.
But Olivia DeJong and sort of the lead character's friend was played by Ed Oxenbould. And Olivia DeJong and Ed Oxenbould both starred in the movie The Visit together, which was an M. Night Shyamalan film where kids go to visit their grandparents. It's almost a found footage type movie, which I have watched and really enjoyed.
Oh, cool.
Which came out around the same time. I'm not sure which.
2015, it says.
Yeah, so the year before this, they were in another movie together. But we're not going to do spoilers in this episode.
So we're not going to tell you anything else about that movie, except you should watch it and don't read anything about it.
Yeah, and stick with it.
Yeah, don't give up. I think it was one where I was a little bit confused and then I wasn't. So. And
not that there's anything to give up about. Like the beginning is solid, but you might be wondering, where is this going?
It is one of my top rated Christmas horror movies. I gave this the same score that I gave, maybe not. I gave this the same score as I gave Trancers. And which most people probably wouldn't give, but this is one of my highest ranked Christmas movies, definitely.
And it might be a yearly watch for me. I haven't watched it this year yet, but there's still time.
Amazing.
What do you got next?
What do I got next? Let's talk about Christmas Evil.
Yes, we recently rewatched that this year, so we've seen it twice now.
Yeah, directed by Lewis Jackson, starring Brandon Maggart as Harry. A lot of similarities with Silent Night, Deadly Night. We have a childhood encounter with Santa, although not quite the same as Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Can I blow your mind for a second?
Go ahead.
Brandon Maggart, who plays Harry, who is the killer, that's not a spoiler.
Right.
That's Fiona Apple's dad.
No way. You just blew my mind.
Told ya.
Dude, what? I can't even. Hold on. She's one of my, I respect her so much as an artist, as a songwriter. I could talk about her for hours. And her dad is Harry from Christmas Evil. Holy shit.
And that's why she's so eccentric.
That's so cool. It is a really neat, wild, it was a 1980 movie. It's got that weird 1980 vibe. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Very cool, weird little movie. Just a wild ride all around. Another one that's really highly ranked for me personally.
And I'm just going to say real quick, that was one until we rewatched it. I kind of had it mixed up in my head with Don't Open Till Christmas from 1984.
Yes.
But they are very different now that I've seen them again. I can kind of separate them, though. Now I feel like I need to see Don't Open Till Christmas again, which is about a killer going around killing Santa Clauses.
Yes.
As opposed to a gentleman
dressed as Santa Claus.
Right.
Right. I think Christmas Evil is better than Don't Open Till Christmas. We did watch them very close together the first time we watched them. Don't Open Till Christmas came out in 1984. A little sleazier, a little dirtier, a little more
Is that possible?
Yes. A little more Jollo-y in my memory anyway. A little more Jollo, a little more mystery.
I have no memory. So.
Christmas Evil is not super mysterious. It's more kind of the way Silent Night, Deadly Night is not mysterious. We know what's going on. We're with the killer the whole time. Same thing with Christmas Evil. We know that it's more about the journey that they go on and how we go with them. And another sympathetic killer, I think. And I think that Don't Open Till Christmas does not have that same vibe. It's a little bit more of a mystery, Jollo. Are there black gloves? I feel like there's black gloves. I haven't seen it recently enough, but that's another one. If you like weird 80s ones, Don't Open Till Christmas is worth a look for sure. But if you have to pick one, definitely check out Christmas Evil. What's next on your list, Johnny?
I'm going to touch on one that I was unsure about, and maybe I still am unsure about, but we've seen it twice now. Rare Exports, A Christmas Tale from 2010 and directed by
Hjalmari Helander.
I give you all the hard assignments, but he was the director of more recently Sisu.
Uh-huh.
And I think a couple of other movies that have crossed our radar along the way, but...
Yes, Sisu and Sisu Road to Revenge, which has come out and we have not seen yet, but...
It's come out?
I thought it did. Why don't you check on that? Rare Exports, I didn't like it as much the first time as we watched it. This came out in 2010. It also stars Jorma Tommila, who is the lead in Sisu. So he and Hjalmari Helander clearly work together. And what's neat is the leading actor, his real life son, Onni Tommila, is the real star of the movie. So this 10-year-old kid who is so compelling and super fun to watch. And it's about people living in Finland. And I believe they're part of the Sami tribe, who are the indigenous people of northern Scandinavia. So they're reindeer herders. This has some old Norse mythology, some creepy stuff. I really liked it a lot more the second time around.
Yes, and the second time we watched it was on the last drive-in with Joe, Bob, and Darcy.
Sure was.
And sometimes I find watching it, I always love watching the last drive-in, obviously, and I love behind the scenes of movies and all of that. That's, we do kind of the same thing in a way.
Right.
But sometimes the interruptions, if I go back and watch the movie again after that, the flow is better without the interruption sometimes. But I actually found that watching it the second time with Joe, Bob, and Darcy, with the insight and everything, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more. I think the other issue I had maybe the first time we watched it, I mean, I don't know what my mindset was at the time. That always plays into how you perceive a movie when you're watching it. But I was expecting some things to happen that didn't happen.
Mm.
And, that's the greatest flaw in the human soul. Expectations.
Heavy. And that's why movies that subvert our expectations are highly ranked. I think also that this film is not in English, and there are some cultural pieces to it that I think unless you have a familiarity with that culture, you are going to miss some stuff. And maybe that was at play. And so watching it with Joe, Bob, and Darcy gave us some more insight into that, into some of that process that made it a little bit better. So I think it's definitely worth a watch, but it's an odd one and has subtitles. So for some people that is harder to do than others, but
And it's pretty gorgeous too.
it's beautiful, really beautiful. And I love learning about other cultures through film and television. I always get really interested. I have Scandinavian ancestry. And so that especially I found really interesting because those are my people. That I'm going to bounce off that and talk about the Advent Calendar from 2021, another foreign film. This one is French. We watched this one maybe last year. I really liked this. This is on Shudder right now, I think. We just saw an ad for it. And I was like, oh, we watched that. This is
This is also the movie one day that this came to your head and you were like, what's that movie about the Advent calendar called? And I was like, the Advent calendar?
Yes, the title is The Advent Calendar, and it's about an Advent calendar. The leading lady is a disabled ex-dancer. I really like that representation, showing somebody who's disabled, but that is an integral part of the story, but also not objectified or made kind of the point of it. It is a part of the story, but not the point of the story. And
Right.
As someone who is disabled in terms of mobility, I really appreciate seeing that. I enjoyed that. Plus, it was just a cool idea. It was really fun. Those French movies are always...
Was it a German Advent calendar that her friend brought her?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, it's not your everyday Advent calendar.
No.
And we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, that one was a fun one, worth a watch.
And it's one that really builds up over time in a great way.
Yeah, it keeps the momentum going for sure. What else you got?
I wouldn't be holding up my end of this podcast if I didn't talk about Terrifier 3 for a minute.
I was going to let you talk about that one.
From 2024, director Damien Leone, starring Lauren Lavera, David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown, and Elliot Fulham. We see our cast of characters again from part 2. We also learn a lot more about Art's lore, which... I think it's great that it's not really present in the first movie. I think that this franchise is kind of following sort of the traditional route of a horror slasher franchise, where in the first movie you don't really know the motivations of the killer, which, we've argued in Halloween is really what can make it scary. But then all of these franchises move on to give the killer a backstory. And what's different for me with this is that it feels a lot more intentional from the get-go. Like the first movie is built in a way that kind of leads to being able to carry forward into the lore. And I'm really liking it. And Terrifier 3 takes place at Christmas time as opposed to Halloween. And we just learn more, we see more, and it's leading to what I believe will be the conclusion of the franchise in Terrifier 4. I'm not sure when that's coming out yet, but Terrifier 3, as you're sitting, sipping your hot cocoa by the Christmas tree and your warm fire, there's no better compliment than Art the Clown.
This is one of the places where I wouldn't say we differ. I acknowledge the Terrifier franchise for its role in the genre, and I applaud it for how it has brought in a whole bunch of people kind of back into the slasher genre and lots of cool merch. It's all over the internet. I don't love the Terrifier movies. I will watch Terrifier 4 when it comes out. I might rewatch the other ones at some point if I have to, but I'm not put off by gore. Just I can handle most things. Terrifier almost is my limit. Terrifier is really close. And so I don't really enjoy it all that much. It's a little much for me. I will not be rewatching that in my spare time this season.
What might you be?
What might I be rewatching? Great question. The Sacrifice Game from 2023.
Yeah, that was good.
I saw somebody brought this up on social media recently, and I said to myself, did we watch this? And then I had to look it up. I was like, oh yeah, we did watch this, and I really enjoyed it. I just lost my notes. There it is. Directed by Jen Wexler and starring Mena Massoud. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He played Aladdin in the live action Aladdin.
Yeah.
And in this movie, he plays a psycho. And then Olivia Scott Welch, she was in the Fear Street movies. Those were really the only actors I knew. Bare bones plot: 2 students are staying at boarding school for Christmas and they're surprised by uninvited guests. But really, really cool atmosphere. Nothing I'd ever seen before. Loved the ending. Surprised me with some unexpected twists and turns. And the characters were just great, especially Mena Massoud. He just chews the scenery up in this movie. So, yeah, that's The Sacrifice Game from 2023. That's another one that I don't hear talked about very often, but...
And even though it came out in 2023, didn't it take place in like the 70s or 80s?
Yes, it does.
Which adds a nice little vibe. I'm just thinking about the opening scene where our cast of bad people sort of intrude on a house, and it's so 70s and so Christmassy.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
So...
Sorry, I just yelled into the mic. I was so excited.
I can fix it.
I know you can. So yeah, I like the little surprise ones that you don't see on every list. So that would be mine. What else on our list would you recommend?
P2.
Yeah. You introduced me to that one and I was really pleased with that.
Yeah, when I'd first read about it, I knew that I wanted to watch it, but I was pretty sure that it might not be up Rachel's alley, but after watching it, I was like, we got to do P2. It's directed by Frank Calhoun, who directed the 2012 remake of Maniac, which you haven't seen yet, but I've seen.
I haven't. It seems like I thought those were the interesting movies. I thought that was interesting.
He also did Amityville: The Awakening and Prey from 2019. But this movie stars Wes Bentley, which is a pretty big name, and also Rachel Nichols. She's been in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, talk about scenery chewing. Wes Bentley in this movie is creepy.
And Rachel Nichols, she's actually from kind of our neck of the woods. I think she's from Maine originally.
Oh, cool.
If I remember correctly. But basically, Rachel Nichols works in what does she work in finance? Or
something like that.
Something in a high-rise
corporate
building.
Yeah.
And she is heading off to her family's for Christmas celebration, gets held up a couple of times, and her car's parked on level P2. And let's just say she runs into some issues that delay her from joining her family as soon as she hoped.
That's a great way to put it. Agreed. So, sticking with, I'm not giving you any of the mainstream ones. I'm pointing out a lot of the ones that we've watched that little gems that you might not see otherwise. Secret Santa from 2018.
Super low budget.
We watched it because Drew Lynch is in it and we really like him as a comedian. We've been to one of his shows and really like his comedy. This was directed by Adam Marcus, who I'm not familiar with, but a family dinner on Christmas Eve goes horribly wrong. This is a really fun one, low budget, but we were pleasantly surprised, I think, by...
Great cast of characters.
Yeah, really nice. It was super fun.
Well-defined characters that have a lot of interplay that slowly builds a tense Christmas celebration.
Yes, as they can be
Exactly.
at Christmas. May you not have a tense Christmas celebration like so many of these films. What about you, John? There's a few more on this list we could talk about.
Absolutely. I think there's more on this list that we could talk about that we're not going to.
Agreed.
So I'm trying to make best use of my time by making dead air.
By taking your time.
Oh, while we're on super low budget, there was one that I really liked for some reason, and it's like one of those movies that's like almost phenomenal. Was All Through the House from 2015. This is another one that I watched and then soon after made Rachel watch with me again. It was directed by Todd Nunez. It stars Ashley Marie Nunez, Jessica Cameron, and Jennifer Wenger. So a bit of a family ties there, which is a hallmark of a really independent, low-budget film. Has a deranged masked Santa Slayer and a creepy house in the neighborhood, just like any good neighborhood has its creepy house, but I won't give more than that. But it's basically a slasher at Christmas time, and it was a fun little romp, worth a watch.
That was another one that I don't think that vibed for me quite as well when we watched it. I didn't rank it quite as highly, but I remember that you really liked it. Okay, I'm going to do one more, and then you can do one more. I'm going to call out Violent Night from 2022, directed by Tommy Wirkola, who did Dead Snow 2, which we just watched this year and really enjoyed both of those a lot.
Yeah.
He also did What Happened to Monday in 2017, which was kind of a fun sci-fi thing. And then The Trip from 2021, which we really liked a lot. So this was his follow-up to The Trip. It's starring David Harbour, John Leguizamo, Beverly D'Angelo. Always good to see another Christmas movie with Beverly D'Angelo.
And certainly his biggest budget movie out of all of these, his most mainstream by far.
100%. And yeah, David Harbour is Violent Santa Claus, which you can see on the poster. So it's not giving away too much.
And it's almost more of an action than
it
horror.
Is. I would agree. More. I like action. I lean a little more on the action side of things than you do sometimes. So that's probably why I liked this one a little bit more.
I mean, I like action.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. I tend to watch action on my own. I save most of the horror for us together, but I'll watch action movies on my own sometimes. This was a really fun one, though. I liked it a lot.
It's definitely fun. I might need to give it a rewatch. I remember not loving it as much as I hoped that I would, but again, there's my expectations being set upon the movie. But it was definitely a fun time.
One more from you.
One more from me. Let's go It's a Wonderful Knife.
Awesome.
Just like It's a Wonderful Life, it kind of has the sort of the time paradox going on in it. It was directed by Tyler McIntyre, who had a segment in VHS 99. He directed Tragedy Girls in 2017 and a couple of other movies. It stars Jane Widdop, Jess McLeod, and Joel McHale. Ever heard of Joel McHale?
Mm-hmm.
And it also has Justin Long in it, which is not on the list that you made.
Oh, I guess I missed that.
It has a fantastic performance by Justin Long as the corrupt mayor, and he's got some weird teeth in to give him sort of a distinctive look.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I'm glad you chose that one to share.
And it's another Christmas time slasher. The killer almost looks like Ghostface all in white, which I think is what they originally intended to do with Ghostface, but it plays off better here against the Christmas backdrop.
Yeah. No, that was another fun one. There's certainly more Christmas movies than these ones that we've talked about. We haven't talked about Krampus much, but that's kind of, I feel like everybody talks about Krampus, but Krampus 2015 by Michael Dougherty, who also did Trick or Treat. So, Krampus definitely considered a classic. If you haven't seen that one, check it out, but we're not going to spend too much time on it. The Black Christmas remakes, meh. We don't need to talk about those. The Silent Night, Deadly Night sequels, there's a whole bunch of those.
We've only seen the second one, which is, like we mentioned in the episode, is basically a rehash of the first movie with a couple of its own moments.
Right. Some really great campy moments that belong just to it, but it is a hard watch right after you watch the first one.
For sure.
And then I suppose that's a good time to mention that as of recording this, the new Silent Night, Deadly Night remake has come out. We have not yet seen it. By the time you hear this, we hope to have seen it, and maybe we'll put out a little something about our response to that. But so far, general buzz about it is really good. So I'm super looking forward to seeing that. We were hoping that we could get to that, but Christmas season, man.
It's tricky.
It's super, super tricky. So yeah, hopefully if you're listening to this on Christmas Eve and one of those movies is on one of your streaming services.
Which they should be. I think a lot of them that we mentioned are either on like Prime or Shudder or AMC.
Or Tubi or...
Not to be.
Or YouTube.
I just did a Shakespeare thing. Did you see that?
I totally. Yep, it was good Shakespeare.
Emily's trying to angle the Shakespeare in, as you know.
I know. That's what I call you, Johnny Shakespeare.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to put that on your Christmas cards.
So what do we got coming out next week? We've got something a little different.
We do. The next couple of weeks are a little different from usual. So next week we're going to have our New Year's special. That is going to be coming out on New Year's Eve. We're going to do our 2025 in review. We're going to discuss the movies that came out in 2025, and we're going to look at those. And then following that, we will have in 2026, the first week, 2 weeks of 2026, we will talk about our top 25 of 25. So that is the top 25 movies that we watched in 2025, which may or may not include movies that came out that year. So we are both very carefully putting together our lists of our favorite movies that we watched in 2025. We've watched a lot of movies, John.
Indeed.
There's a lot to pick from. I'm trying to narrow it down. I think my current list is at about like 30 movies that I really want to talk about, but I only get half of them. So I've got to narrow that down to 13, 12 or 13.
Well, and before we sign off for the night, should we let them hear our Christmas song?
Well, of course, we're going to let them hear the Christmas song. But then just a reminder that we'll be back in 3 or 4 weeks. Hold on, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks with our next movie, which is Final Destination.
Right.
So,
and there's going to be episodes every week. We're not taking a break.
We're not taking a break. We're just not doing our usual deep dive open mic followed by a demo. So we're just taking a little break from that format. But we will be here every week for those of you who are waiting with bated breath. And yeah, I guess let's move into our Christmas song. I'm so excited to share how well this came out.
Yep. Here's our holiday hit called Naughty Christmas. Enjoy.
It's a naughty, naughty Christmas, a very naughty Christmas, a naughty, naughty Christmas, and you should be punished. Santa's supposed to be jolly, but he's looking kind of mean. I hope you were good because he's coming to town no matter what you believe. He's not looking for reasons, he's just calling it as he sees. And if you've been bad, he'll string you up like lights on Christmas Eve. It's a naughty, naughty Christmas, a very naughty Christmas, a naughty, naughty Christmas, and you should be punished. Santa's skipping the chimney, and he's fixing to cause a scene. He's coming for you, and to leave your body underneath the tree. It's a naughty, naughty Christmas, a very naughty Christmas, a naughty, naughty Christmas, and you should be punished. You're gonna be punished, 'cause Santa's brought his axe, and he's likely to attack, because nobody's been perfect all year long. And he hasn't got his list, yet the punishment persists. He'll cut you down over the smallest wrong. It's a naughty, naughty Christmas, a very naughty Christmas, a naughty, naughty Christmas, and you should be punished. It's a naughty, naughty Christmas, a very naughty Christmas, a naughty, naughty Christmas, and you should be punished. You're gonna be punished. Yeah, you were punished. luck next year.
Delightful.
I think that's destined to be an annual play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Step aside, Mariah Carey.
Gonna have to get it on the Spotify so y'all can add it to your Christmas lists, your Christmas playlists.
Someday. But anyway, you can find us on social media at OMNLD Pod. Anywhere, pretty much.
Anywhere. Yeah, we're everywhere.
Anywhere and everywhere, follow us. We've put out some shorts, some little videos, things like that. I'm going to be doing some unboxing of some of my physical media.
Yeah, it is that season where you're about to get probably a bunch of really fun things to unbox.
Maybe.
If you've been good.
And, well, we know that's not happening, so I guess there won't be videos.
I guess not. No
I take it
unboxing
back.
videos.
Don't follow us. Don't go looking for us. Or you can also email us at omnldpod@gmail.com. Please like, subscribe, react, comment,
And share.
and share.
Send it to the person in your life who likes horror and quirky songs.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Yep. All right, cool. That's it. I guess Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate. Bitchin' Yule to those who celebrated a couple days ago.
What?
That's what me and my pagan friends say to each other for Yule is bitchin' Yule.
I'm cutting that out.
Oh, come on.
And
Happy Yule. Happy Hanukkah for those who celebrated,
fantastic.
etc.
Enjoy the holidays as best you can. I know they can be stressful, but we're here for you if you need a couple of comforting, potentially accurate voices from time to time. You can go back, listen to Scream and how we didn't know what we were doing and how we've only slightly improved over the 20-something episodes since then.
There's been improvement. Incremental.
All right.
All right. That's it.
I'm back to rapping.
All right.
See you next week.
See ya.